Pan-Africanism should flourish as an idea of cooperative integration, global competitiveness, and peaceful coexistence. African youth and women should share their due space in leadership and development. We cannot let constructed divides, geographic boundaries, and political ideologies hijack our Pan-African ideals. The crisis in global leadership calls for Africans to step up collectively and think beyond our confines. The changing world and its yet to be defined order calls for a new brand of leaders that are agenda setters, creative thinkers, and solution makers.
Well, until Africa tells our own stories, our image will remain distorted. That affects not just how others view us, but also how we view ourselves. That is the words of Abiy Ahmed. This weekend, the heads of states meet in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, discussing some challenges facing our mother continent, Africa. Abiy Ahmed has told African reader to create the Pan-African media or African Union media that will tell African stories. Apart from that, the issue that was discussed about the lifting sanction imposed on 3 countries, Mali, Guinea, and Burkina Faso. Remember, these 3 countries last week shown their interest to create their own federation after being isolated by some international communities. And also these countries has been sanctioned by the bloc ECOWAS, where these countries are sanctioned due to the military coup and demanded to restore the democratic government. Due to that, also the African Union has been suspended these 3 countries from involving in some activities in African Union. So due to that, African Union discussed on how they can lift the sanction imposed on these 3 countries, because if we continue to sanction these countries and we are going to the Continental Free Trade Area, where we are talking about free movement of people and goods, these countries will be affected, and also will affect the free movement of people and goods, also will affect the Continental Free Trade Area. So in order for the acceleration of Continental Free Trade Area, let us remove sanction imposed on these countries, while the readers discussing and find solutions on how they can restore the democratic government. That is what was discussed in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. That is a good move, and we need to unite as Africans, despite of geographic areas, despite of our ideology, our differences, our religions, but we are Africans. We need to come together, and that's what Abiy Ahmed, His Excellency Prime Minister of Ethiopia, was said in the Pan-African leadership. So all in all, as Africa, we need to embrace good decision that was had by our leaders. Africa, we are moving very well at this time. We see the African leaders seeking solutions for African problems instead of waiting the solution from outside, and we see how they succeeded to silence the gun in Tigray region, and now we are working hard to restore peace in the Democratic Republic of Congo. So we as Africans, we need to show the world that we are more civilized, we have good ambition to our continent. We need to move this continent to the driver's seat of our development. So we as Africans, we say this is good. We must congratulate the decisions of our leaders on the issues concerning about lifting sanctions on three countries, Mali, Guinea, and Burkina Faso. Mali, Guinea, and Burkina Faso are our countries, are our brothers and sisters, are in Africa. So doing what the West are doing is not good here in the continent of Africa. So if the Western countries sanctioning Zimbabwe and affecting the economy of Zimbabwe, we cannot repeat the same mistake, because remember, when we sanction some countries or country, those who are more affected are civilian, are not readers. Readers, they continue to enjoy, but the only civilian are those who have been affected. Even the conflict, when we talk about the conflict in Africa, our grandmothers, grandfathers, our children, our mother are those who have been affected much compared with others. So that's why we are talking about silence the gun. We are talking about bringing peace in this continent, because those who are affected, those who cause this problem are not affected, but the rest are those who are affected. So all in all, dear friends and fellow Africans, I have decided to share this because I see it is very important to share with you, my dear friends and fellow Africans. Thank you.